Hello, welcome back to Detailing on the Beast. Today we're going to be talking about leisure batteries, in particular the setup that I have in my Ford Ranger. A couple of you have asked for this video, so I've bumped it up the priority list, but we need to be up that end of the truck, so I'll see you in a minute. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk you through every single component all the way from front to back. I'm going to go through what I've got, what wire gauge, what fuses I've got, what kit I've got, all sorts of stuff, where the cables run, how I've earthed it, all that sort of stuff. So we'll start here with the battery. So at the front end of the truck we have the battery. We're going to lift the cover. Now I've taken it off this pin here. It's 4 AWG, so American wire gauge. All the way around here it's this big thick red cable. That goes into a 30 amp fuse. That then goes, and it changes colour now just because of keeping it all the same colour under the truck. I didn't want a big massive red wire. So I've gone for black insulated cable here now. It's the same as most of these here, so there's no issue with it being black as long as we know what it is. So it comes out of the fuse here, goes up here, runs all the way down the back, down here. Then it disappears down into the wheel well and onto the frame of the truck. I'll just show you underneath now. So I left you at the front of the car at the engine bay. We're now at the back and we're underneath. I'm just going to use a torch because the cable itself is hidden on the chassis. So I'm just going to use a torch to pinpoint where the cable runs. So it's all along this side here, and that's where I left you up at the front end. So that drops down and the cable comes out behind the wheel arch and it then hits the chassis. That's the first thing you'll get to. There is a massive loom on that chassis that runs all the way front to back. It's for all the power at the back of the vehicle, all the lights, etc. Tow bar electrics and canopy electrics are on there as well. So all I've done is tied it to that loom and followed. It's on top of this chassis beam here all the way down. You just keep tying it along all the way, and then you get to the back somewhere above the rear wheel. So the rear wheel up into the rear quarter. Tried to put as much light up here as I can. What you can see is the black cable. That's our power cable coming from the engine bay. That feeds out here, and then we have, this is the earthing cable that we've put in, so that just connects to that chassis bolt there, and then you feed the two up. I'm just going to spin round. You feed them two cables up into the void, and you will then get into the back of your truck and you'll find where they come out. Now it might be easier to fish down and then pull the cables through, but I'll show you where you pull them through now. So now we're at the tub. Where we're going to go is just about here. I'm just going to peel my bed rug back and show you what we've got. So if you peel the bed rug back in the place that I've just shown you, you can see the two cables here coming up. So your black being your positive, your brown being your earth. So we've got the two cables into the bed. We've come in somewhere up here, fed them down behind the bed rug, and then they reappear behind the battery box. That's them there. The earth cable goes directly onto the negative terminal of the battery, and then the positive cable comes out and goes straight onto the CTEK. I'll just show you that now. So this is the CTEK. It's a smart dual charging system for smart alternators, which the Ranger has. This is the cable from the front of the truck, so from the front battery, goes into the CTEK. It then goes out of the CTEK, back down, and into another 30 amp fuse. So we've fused it twice, once at the front of the car, once at the back. And then that goes out, again, red cable this time now, and onto the positive terminal of the battery, which is inside the box. We then have a negative from the CTEK, which then goes out back into the box and connects to the negative terminal on the battery inside the box. These here are connection points from the leisure battery itself. it has a turn on and off isolator switch, and it also has a battery test function built in onto the box. This is a Numax battery box. I'll try and put a link for the CTEK, the Numax battery box and the Numax battery, along with some other wiring bits and pieces in the description of the video. I'll just take the lid off the box now and I'll show you what we've got. But before I do, actually, we have here another, let me focus in on that, another connection point there. Now that is for soldering, so you can put solar panels onto this and have it recharge your leisure battery. So I've lifted the lid on the battery box now. We're just going to go and have a look at the battery and how I've got it set up. The battery I've gone for is 105 amp hours. It's the Numax XV31MF. And now I'll just show you how we've got that set up. So first the positive terminal, because it is so much easier. You can see there the feed over the back comes into the box, connects to the battery, and then the battery, there's a connection out, and we follow that up, and that just connects to the battery box lid. So I have not had to do anything with the wiring this side of the terminal. So this side, yeah, everything was me up to there, and then everything out is it built into the battery box itself. So that was nice and easy. So on the ground side of the battery, you can see there are 4 connections this time. There are 3 black ones, and then the copper gold one behind, you can see there. That copper gold one is the one that we earthed onto the chassis, straight onto the battery. We've then got the one on the right of this picture that then goes out to the battery box. Again, pre-wired, you don't have to do anything about that. And then the other 2, we've got the one from the CTEK. So that is the one from the dual charger. And then the other one just goes out and runs behind the battery box and is left on a multi-connector, like a, in fact I'll show you that now. So it's just a distribution block, just for negative and earth. It just makes things a lot easier when you're plugging things in, that's all. So that is the battery and the box. And then the whole lot is secured to the truck using a battery retaining strap. They just go to the anchor points on the side of the tub. And that is pretty much it. That's the basic setup. So you've got the terminals on the front there, so they're live when you turn the isolator switch to on. So you can connect whatever you want to them then. I have a little mini blade fuse box that I can connect to mine. I use it for running things like lighting when I go camping, so a lot of 12 volt lighting. What else have we got? We've got the fridge, so I'll show you that in a second. We've got a fridge in here. Use it for an inverter, so I've got an inverter for charging things like drone batteries, etc. Just a lot of stuff really. It becomes a really useful tool to have an extra battery without fearing that you're going to run the main battery down on the car and you won't be able to start your car. So this is the fridge. Again, exactly the same setup as the battery really. It's using a battery retaining strap. Just stuck that on the other side. Fed the cable. It's 12 volt and 240 volt to be fair, so you can take this out easily enough and run it on mains power. But when you're in the car and you're travelling somewhere, you can actually just fill it with food, fill it with drinks. The cable runs down here and under the bed rug all the way along, and then it comes out here and it can be plugged in to the cigarette lighter socket on the battery box itself. That's another great feature. Turn the isolator switch on and you can hear it going now. And then one final little accessory that I've done is I've added a 12 volt socket here on the back by the tow bar electrics. Again, that's a cigarette lighter socket, so you can literally pop in there. I use that for lights when we go camping, so it's a lot easier just to have your ready made up lighting circuit straight out your tent, straight into the truck. There's a little switch up inside the tub, and then that runs down and out where the power and the earth feed go in, so the same sort of direction in and out of the tub. And that, guys, is it. So if this helped you out, if you're going to get a leisure battery setup, let me know in the comments. You know, I'm always interested to hear what you've got, what suggestions you've got, what else I can run on this, etc. So yeah, give me a like, subscribe if you want more stuff. Any suggestions for videos, just drop me a message, let me know. I can pretty much do a video on anything that I've done to my truck, anything you've noticed. As I said earlier, I'll put all the links to the products if I can find them on Amazon. I'll put the links in the description below the video. Otherwise, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching.